Happy Wednesday, January 26th. Today's reading is Exodus chapters 2 through 4. Hope you're having a great day so far. Now we're getting into the birth of Moses. And imagine that. God is dictating to Moses to write about his own birth. And also notice here in chapter 1, Jochebed, Moses' mother, is non-compliant. Sometimes you don't listen and do as you're told. And she certainly didn't, and it turned out well for her. Pharaoh's daughter makes it down to the river. A true woman cannot turn away from a baby's cry. And thank God for a woman's compassion. So what we find here is Moses was actually raised as Pharaoh's grandson. Then he's basically 40 years old when he kills the Egyptian. He goes to Midian running, and he's there for 40 years. And then when he comes back and then leads Israel, that's another 40 years. Notice here that Moses marries a Gentile and pictures Christ slightly. Jesus was rejected by his people and marries the Gentile church, takes the Gentile church as his bride. All right, chapter 3, we have the burning bush. By the way, this is an Old Testament appearance of Jesus Christ. Sometimes we call those Christophanies. Sometimes we call them theophanies. But remember, John chapter 1 tells us that no man has seen God at any time, but the Son hath declared him. This bush is burning, but is not consumed. And for millennia now, the Jews have been persecuted, but not consumed. Notice also here that God says, I am that I am. And then we get to John chapter 8. And when Jesus says that, John chapter 8 is my favorite chapter in the Bible, by the way. But when Jesus says, I am, and remember they tried to stone him. I gave a message back in June 2018 about who exactly died for you, and using the words for I am here and how Jesus did that. Some amazing stuff. I'll have to pull up that sermon and post it on YouTube soon. Chapter 4. Moses objects to being the leader here. Says he has a slow tongue. God doesn't argue with him saying he doesn't have a slow tongue. God doesn't care about our talents. I thank God for that. He doesn't want your talents. He wants you. He doesn't need your talents. He wants you. Today, the main things we judge churches by, as I go out and about and talk to people, are, number 1, programs, number 2, entertainment, and then number 3 is just smooth motivational speakers. We don't need more motivational speakers. We need Christ. We need doctrine. We need to be encouraged. We need so much more than a motivational speaker. We don't, motivation's fleeting. So finally, God gets slightly mad at Moses and says, fine, I'll just use Aaron. He can speak well, but that smooth speaker that you find there, come to later, he led them into idolatry. We find in the New Testament, Apollos was a great speaker, but he only knew the baptism of John. And so again, if we can have doctrine with a great speaker, that's a wonderful thing. If we can have righteousness with a good speaker, that's a wonderful thing. But too often we fall for the smooth speakers, and so now we see that God tries to kill Moses because his kids weren't circumcised. Before, Moses wasn't a leader. Now he's the leader of the nation. And so now God has a higher standard for him. It's not that God didn't know before. It's just now he's being held to a higher standard. And so now we find Moses back in Egypt. And some great stories, lots of stuff coming up. So stay faithful, stay in it. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.